Remy and Byron, you return to the keep to find, it's kind of it's looking towards spring at this point in the year. Maybe not quite there, but there is the sort of trees are starting to look alive again. There's buds poking through the snow, um, and it is still bitterly cold though. But all that is overshadowed by the storm that seems to somehow have gotten even closer in the couple of hours that you were away.
Is
It's
there
coming
is there like a
fast.
wind or anything coming with it, or is it just sort of this boiling
No,
miasma of energy?
there's not really this kind of a real effect on the weather. It seems
Mm,
where you are, apart from the like massive kind of cloud breaking
hmm.
off to one side.
Okay.
It's sort of I'd say it's almost more like a visual thing
Hmm.
rather than a weather thing. Seems almost like one of Byron's illusions or something in that way, I suppose.
Mm. Interesting.
So yeah, you guys kind of appear in the courtyard. Remy just freezing his bollocks off.
Hmm.
We've gone from one cold place to another, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I
Remy
mean,
was just complaining about being in his bathrobe, so he's gonna just kind of cross his arms and say, "I'm gonna go get changed. I'll find you a bit." And just kind of hurry inside and go put his gear on.
This is me just realizing that I forgot to level up.
Oops.
that was like one of your two jobs, and neither were done. So
Yeah, I know. But that's all right.
for helping get us into the immersion there.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, Rose, imagine you're probably just finishing
Yes.
up your prayers now.
Yes.
You have kind of. So I think it would be interesting just to get an understanding of what mental state Rose is in right now. She's got this huge task before her. She knows her God is with her, but doesn't seem willing to give that tangible assistance. How's she
Um,
feeling?
I think probably, and as she gets that final answer, there's this almost kind of sense of being overwhelmed, and it kind of like fades a little bit into maybe a little despair because there is that little bit of thought that there's a finality to what Lathander said. And as she kind of sits there and ponders his words and everything that she's been through, all the things that he's brought her through to this point, there's a resolve kind of building in her. Like, yes, he didn't give her the answers that he was looking for, but when the time comes, she has faith that she will know the meaning of his words.
Cool. So it's sort of like that darkest dungeon thing, where you sort of reach the maximum stress and you can either go kind of bad or good. And she's kind of like, she's standing strong in her faith for now, I suppose.
Yes, she's decided to have faith rather than despair.
Definitely. So what would she be doing now? She's finished her prayers.
Probably returning to the keep to see if any of her friends are there, and then think better of it and go find Willow.
Yeah. Willow is on guard duty, kind of sitting, shivering up on the wall. Bazarek told her to bring an extra cloak, and she didn't. And now she's regretting it, but she's too proud to say anything. So she just kind of sits shivering slightly, crossed over her knee, just staring off at that cloud.
I mean, I imagine that Rose kind of knows this about Willow and would be taking her an extra cloak.
Yeah. So you kind of walk up and put it around her, and she kind of gives you like a thanking nod.
I figured you
Hi.
wouldn't take his advice.
But it quickly turns to a half grin. Just couldn't let the old man be right again, you know?
No. So I'll be over soon, one way or another.
Do you think it is going to be okay?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really? Or is that just the cleric bullshit that you say?
That's my religion, man. It's not bullshit.
I think that it could be pretty messy, and people are going to get hurt. But in the end, I think we will do what we must.
That sounds like, to me anyway, you're trying not to say that you think we're going to die.
I don't know. I know that it's going to be rough, and I know people are not going to make it out of this. It's
But
why we're here, and it's why we're doing what we're doing.
yeah, I suppose. She kind of like rubs her forehead and closes her eyes as though she's got a headache. I just, I'm just a god. I'm not even very good with the crossbow. I'm not like you guys. And when I look out there, all I see is a long, slow death coming. And I can't see how anyone could live through that.
We're making preparations to get people out.
So you're running.
No, we're not running.
But if you thought you were going to win, you wouldn't get people out.
We're getting people out because we know that it's going to take a lot for us to stop her. And we know we're trying to minimize the losses. As cold as that sounds.
Yeah, it does sound fucking cold. It's kind of this is not the Willow you're used to seeing, and I imagine it kind of takes you a half moment, and you realize that like she's just terrified, and she doesn't really know any way to express this other than getting angry about it.
What is this really about?
What the fuck do you think it's about? It's about the giant cloud over there that's bringing an army of something, I don't even know, that's gonna come and kill us all, and she sort of like loses her thought and kind of like wobbles slightly, and again, this is very unlike her.
I'm gonna pull her into a hug and say, "We're not gonna let that happen. We'll not let that happen."
But what if it does?
I hope that there's a measure of peace at the end for us.
That's a lot to hope for.
Something waiting on the other side.
She just shakes her head and shrugs. She doesn't know how to respond to that.
As long as I am still breathing, I am still fighting. And I will not let it happen. I'm coming home to you.
You have to. She says, and she's trying really hard to fight back her tears at this point.
But right now, no matter how afraid you are or angry you are, we need to be a rock for these people.
She bites the lip and nods.
We've got this.
Always with the corny line, Rose.
You know
She
me.
grins and wipes her eyes. Now fuck off before you make me cry again. I'm supposed to be the tough one here.
Stay warm.
Yeah.
And I'll give her a kiss before I head off.
Yeah. Her hand comes up to sort of rest on your cheek for a moment. You feel how cold it is. Then she buries it back in her cloaks. What's Byron doing?
Mostly thinking of all the lines the narrator from thingy, Darkest Dungeon. Just after you said that, they're all just rolling through my head.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice.
So good.
Yeah, I love his voice so much. So I guess I like popped into the courtyard and Remy went running off from me to find a change of clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
So just before I go engage someone, I asked for the council's help to help evacuate people, right? That
Yeah.
stuff was coming, and they would help evacuate us, and they would be well aware. And then the Algar told us to use the key that we had earned to get into the plane and destabilize it, and to seek the castle as the core of her strength, supposedly.
Yes.
Okay, good. Do I see Elishan or Rose? Or both?
If you're kind of looking around specifically, you might see Rose up on the wall with Willow. As for Elishan, that's up to fucking C.
She probably would have been heading back into the keep after her thing with Arame, so whether or not you catch her before she's gone upstairs.
Before you get to the keep, possibly. I'm
Yeah.
waiting perhaps for Rose to finish and come off the walls, so you might walk through the main gate on the way to the keep.
Yeah.
So you see Byron standing, perfect center in the middle of the grounds, just occasionally looking up towards Rose, and then he's really, really bad at trying to kill time and look nonchalant in the middle of the keep crowd. So that's what you see while he waits.
I'm just picturing him like standing, just full body staring at Rose, just completely like unblinking, unmoving, just waiting for it.
So I guess Elishan would come up to join him. Say, how is Virus? Virus?
They were suitably concerned by the news. Requested action from them, and what was his name? The Ashari.
Country.
Condry. He was more capable than most. He offered us assistance on behalf of the council for evacuation, as I requested, and they took the news under advisement. I'm sure they're sending messages to the other halls as we speak.
That's good.
We visited Algar as well for advice from them on our coming trials. They had a theory that the keep that has been witnessed was the source of her power, and perhaps if we could use the key to gain some distance on it, stay out of her knowledge, we might be able to get to it and weaken her, destroy her, destabilize her. I tried to speak with them about turning the key into some sort of weapon, locking the plane or dispersing it. I think they said it would just disperse her. He wouldn't say I think, but down me, I think they said something it would just disperse her into the astral plane and not destroy her.
Yeah, so like if it would, she's like mold. Like if you ripped up and threw 2 bits of mold aside, then it would just like start growing in 2 places rather than actually be destroyed.
That reminds me. We should probably see about getting some kind of protection for ourselves if we plan on traveling in Doskent. Whenever I went there before, and then during the fight with Guradan and Fandral, that's Arthas. It's the chaos is infectious. We should maybe prepare for that. Just being there is draining.
I mean, we have some of the cure and some of the essence of the Chaos Lords. Perhaps with the blessings of Lathander, and he kind of like motions up to the wall, we might be able to make ourselves robust against the advances of chaos while we're there.
What's this? You're the great, mighty Byron Huxley. Rutherford III is saying that we should wait and see if a god helps us rather than trying to formulate our own protection.
Oh no, I said, I mean, we still have essence. I can still do something, but I mean,
sounded a bit like you didn't think that we could do it on our own. She says, kind of like teasingly. He might not get that she's trying to.
No, I think he does enough that you get like a little pout or a little frown or something. Like,
She's basically trying to goad him into brilliance.
I'm sure I could come up with something. He says, there's like an element of competition in his voice. He was gonna say, like, have you seen what she's done recently? But now you've like egged him on. But I may be able to come up with some sort of protection.
There was
at
that
least
one
temporarily.
recipe that I was never able to try because we couldn't get the midnight fig, but perhaps with some of the ingredients that we've made the cure with, maybe we can concoct something that's, quick, but it won't cure anything, but might give us some kind of advantage, maybe, or resistance to whatever, you know.
Having spoke to Condry, maybe he has brought some figs over to the mainland. I could always speak to him again.
He's got a guy.
And maybe he has a guy. We could try your protection concoction.
If I recall correctly, I think that was the only exotic ingredient that it needed.
I believe you are correct.
I know I am. I totally looked it over.
I think Rose might be able to. No. Oh crap. I've used like my teleport for the day. It'll have to be tomorrow, unfortunately. And Rose can't contact him, and I can't either for now. Although he may well be sending people. I'm not sure how quickly they're going to arrive, but they know very much of our time schedule, so attempt to request something from them. Or take the ship.
Is this Quandary fellow, is he stationed in Viros? Maybe do one of your students know him? Is it one of your students from Mishar?
Yes.
Might be house.
Rob, I don't like to presume what level they are. Are they level enough to cast message sending? Rather, it's only level 3.
What level is spell sending?
Third.
3. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. I'll speak to. I'll speak to him. Those students that get referenced like once every 12 episodes or something, and I never remember the names.
Every time they ever come up, I'm like, Dan, what are their names again?
Yeah.
I think
Although Elisha was like, yeah, you've got a student from Ashar. Maybe all Ashar know each other.
I've got an Ashari girlfriend.
I will. I'll go get them to contact the Halls of Ivy and make arrangements for perhaps a delivery when they arrive.
Okay.
All right. It looks like Rose is done.
in the interim or whatever, Rose, or the name I actually am, Elishan, is going to catch Byron up on the things that she spoke to Bazrag and Creek about while we're waiting for Rose and Remy to come down. Or if we're waiting on Remy, or if we're just waiting on Rose. Perfect.
Right.
Do you want to give me the gist of what your god said to you?
Oh,
Just so it's fresh in my mind. So I do wait for Rose to turn up. I don't mind.
I don't think Ermi's going to be able to help us much. I really more asked for she could help where she could.
Well,
This might be something that we have to do on our own, at least whenever in that regard.
Perhaps. It seems the gods do like that sort of thing.
You know, they say that they don't ever put anything on us that we are not equipped to handle.
Almost as a counterpoint to your competitiveness earlier or something, goading him, he goes, well, there's very little I can't handle, so...
Elisha just
Fire.
kind of like quirks like an eyebrow. That's just all like, okay.
He's probably straightening out like his incredibly luxurious suit or whatever at this point.
Mhm.
I guess imagine at this time Rose is kind of walking up to the rest of the group.
Just as she hears Byron say, "Oh, there's basically nothing I can't handle."
I don't even want to know what that's about.
You know, end of the world. Typical stuff for us.
Usual boasts.
Oh yeah, you know me.
Your trip was fruitful then?
Ish. Consider them. Spoke with the council. They were suitably concerned. Are due to send help for evacuation.
Good.
Teleportation and the like. Spoke to the Algar. They didn't have a lot of ways to help us destabilize a plane, and were worried that if we were to use the key in unorthodox ways, locking her off or scattering her plane somehow, that she would just come back. They advised to try and access the keep that no one has ever accessed before, using their method of entry and somewhat.
I don't think our answer is a physical weapon. If that's
No.
Someone is crushing dice.
Oh, is that me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was very distracting. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's my bad. I didn't realize it was that loud. I can barely hear it over here.
It's okay.
It's just paper in my hands. I'm doing that with it.
Oh, okay.
That's my bad.
No worries.
I don't think it's going to require a physical item to, I guess, separate her from her plane.
Lathander bore some insight.
That's one way of putting it. As gods are wont to do sometimes, he was a little vague with the particulars of his answers to my prayers. But he did say that we already possess the means to do so.
What were the exact questions and answers again? Sorry.
It's like, I know the answers were that it's
Can-
not a yeah, okay.
Okay, sorry, I got the notes right here. Can we
He's got it.
destabilize the plane? Yes, he's got this. Can we just destabilize the thing? The answer was yes. Do we have the means now? The means are not physical. They are a means of will, and you possess those, Rose. And is that why you called me North? And yes, it is.
Those are some smart ass answers. Thank you, Zeke.
You're welcome.
You get 1.5 point back
Half point of what?
of being shit for not doing the recaps and everything.
Oh, okay, cool.
We have a great deal of metaphysical ability between the two of us. Three of us.
Thank you.
You got something in your throat there, Elishan?
Well, I mean, if you don't think I'll be of help, I suppose I could just stay home.
I mean, if you really just want to stay home and miss the end of the
Mostly me
world.
having a very long week and forgetting. I was thinking like Remy's not going to be my like much help if it's not physical. And then just forgetting how many people are there.
Remy is a very deep thinker. All right, it's a problem solver.
You see, we're just not appreciated. I think it's because our ears are pointy.
Deep thoughts with Remy.
Sorry, what?
So, what?
What? You said
said-
something about Remy and I
I
didn't
said
hear it.
deep thoughts with Remy.
Oh, yeah.
It's the title of his podcast.
Per podcast, he just, shouts it out the window to anyone who's listening.
From his tub.
That is essentially medieval podcasting.
Yeah. To be fair, I think there's already a tub cast, but
Right. Well,
Those weren't exactly the answers we were looking for, but I didn't really have much hope that he would tell us to go to Sacred Mountain and retrieve the long-lost orb of Evelyn slaying.
you've been looking at my fucking notes.
Yeah, I have.
That's what her divine that intervention was last week. She just got like a 30-minute window, but she could read all of Rob's DM notes.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, that would be like fucking looking at Cthulhu. You just go insane. It's a mess.
Alashan had the idea that there was a potion from one of the books a long time ago, I believe, that required midnight figs. And with my newly acquired confidant on the council, I will go speak to my students and ask him to bring, or members of his staff to bring some here when they arrive, and we might be able to protect ourselves.
What does this potion do?
It's supposed to protect against dark forces. Quite literally, just dark forces. All riches anti-dark. Supposed to protect the user from all manner of dark beings and vicious spells. Just need liven berries, a midnight fig, and a cup of holy water.
Well, I think I can get you set on the holy water.
Excellent. We may well need every advantage we can get.
But it'll cost you.
Oh no. I'll pay whatever price it takes, Rose.
It's no fun when you go along with the joke.
I imagine like Byron gets serious for a moment, like what really? Like, but you like over speak him with so very well. I don't know many other preparations that we can make. I would like to know more of this advancing army, of course.
Should we begin moving people as soon as possible?
I'm afraid I don't have much energy to do that of my own. I was rather waiting for the evacuation teams to appear.
Oh, I thought we were going to move them using the key, but Remy had mentioned a lovely sounding island.
Oh, the plane hovering quite.
Or were we thinking of a different method to evacuate?
I suppose if he did say that there was plenty of coconuts and food there, it would save us the trouble of having to gather resources for our people down in the caverns if we just send them to Booby Island, as Remy called it.
No, it was Titty Island.
Oh.
It's a place of many names and many mysteries.
And definitely a lot of coconuts.
Oh, yeah.
If you think that is a wiser idea, then perhaps we can go that route.
I will leave that kind of decision up to you all. I would worry about evacuating people to another plane because if something happens to us, there won't be any getting back. But there's no guarantee that the cavern will protect anybody either. So
If
maybe
we
if we're upfront about the options, people could choose where they want to take refuge in.
if we don't make it back, there won't be much of this place left. It may be best to let them go to some other plane of existence and have a hope for a long life with whatever knowledge we've gathered and hopes that they can prepare for Evelyn's eventual arrival.
I mean, then how far does our generosity spread? Do we travel the country teleporting to this plane of paradise? Do we tell other people of this way out?
I don't know. I think something more practical might be better suited than the key. I mean, I know that the Algar said that this thing will work, but it also says that it has a charge. What if we overexert it and then we can't extend the time it takes for it to recharge and then we're, unable to escape Evelyn's realm whenever we need to?
And that's the price we pay.
I just don't consider the Elgar's method of retreat particularly practical. They've run and they've run and they've run, and it hasn't changed anything.
We're not running.
I know we don't, but I don't particularly condone sending great masses of the mundane to a different plane to rely entirely on potentially us or someone else the Algar have trained to bring them back again. There are very few of their number and very few of us. And,
we don't know much about this plane. It might be that they're only, willing to accommodate one errant halfling, but, you dump an entire keep full of people on them or an entire nation full of people on them. We don't know what we'd be dropping them into. Remy was there for a few hours. Maybe there's, a blood moon that happens every 3 days and horrible things attack every, 5th day or something.
Stop giving the DM ideas, Corinne.
I do not even wish to contemplate what horrors would arise from those sandy shores.
Exactly.
Booby monsters.
On the 5th day, the sand runs red with blood.
It's just every once a month when there's a full moon, just all the chicks suddenly have penises.
Snoo.
Becomes Thailand for a night.
Oh, that was...
I shake my head.
That wasn't fun. Yeah, that was fun.
I just don't like the idea of not having some type of plan in place for these people.
The plan is I've asked the council to send people here to teleport them into further corners of Lament.
And if we fail?
Then they will have a better chance, surrounded by the nations of men, elves, and dwarves, fighting here than the lackadaisical denizens of a beach plain. She apparently, Evelyn reaches all planes eventually.
Which is why I said we send what knowledge we can that we've gathered and hopes that this other plane can prepare.
I'm kind of with Byron. I think that a practical solution rather than an arcane one for evacuation might be best. Because honestly, I hope that we are back and done before it becomes an issue for the people here. But in case it doesn't, I think we need to focus on preparing ourselves for this journey and not necessarily. No, I think we should do all we can. But I think our magical energies should be spent towards preparing ourselves for this journey, not stretching ourselves too thin, evacuating people to planes we know nothing about. Aside the fact that it is nice and sunny and, there are coconuts there
And there is no chaos there.
for now.
At this point, Remy will enter, fully geared up, munching on like a raw onion.
Oh, dude.
And
What are you guys talking about?
Evacuations.
Well, what else is there to talk about? You got people coming to pick up anyone who wants to go that way? Anyone who wants to travel to another plane can go?
They're loath to use the key to get anyone out
Why? If that's what they want to do.
for fear of stretching our resources too thin.
Doesn't take any resources, that's the point. No one has to use a spell magic thing.
Yes, but we also don't know anything about the places that you'll be sending these people.
Sure, but that's up to them. It's either stay here and maybe die or go there and maybe die. But it's a fast means of egress. Or is that the one that goes in? I can't remember.
No, you're right.
Okay.
But Byron feels a little proud.
Remy's nose remembers to bleed slightly.
The word egress. Byron, I don't know, slightly perturbed by the debating back and forth about things with so much going on. I guess I agree. Let the people decide. If they wish to go and risk us not being there to reclaim them, I guess they can. They've made their choice. But I will equally tell them that they have places that they can go to within their own plane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got boats coming, right? Or people with spells to take them away?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they got options. We're sitting here making all the decisions like it's our power and responsibility to do so, and it's just not. We got options for them, and they can pick. And, Elishan is right. We do need to focus on getting us ready. So I don't know what we're talking about. What I'm trying to say.
Wise counsel as always, Remy. And he pats you on the shoulder as he moves by. I'm going to go contact my students. Have them make arrangements.
Since we're discussing preparations or whatever, we said that before we got sidetracked by the talk of evacuations, the army, perhaps you and Rose could scry tomorrow. It's not something I can help you with, or we could send Minerva again.
look over to Rose like,
Aren't you older than her?
She's older than all of us.
not me. Probably not me. Actually, I don't know, maybe.
True.
I can send Minerva and Scry. I am curious what leads this force.
Hmm.
The
I was thinking about taking a advanced party out there just to fuck with them. Kind of harry their borders. Be fun.
Once we've reconnoitered the points of interest, perhaps that is not a bad idea.
If it is just a mindless horde, that again might be a waste of our resources, and we could just
Maybe.
focus on shoring up what we've got here, or Byron's control over our surrounding areas. Perhaps might make it more difficult for the storm to pass.
I mean, I certainly can make this place much more defensible than it is, but without people to defend it.
Mm.
Well, I thought we agreed there's no point in trying to defend it. I mean, there's no asking other people to fight that thing.
Exactly. I would rather have everyone retreat from here. It is a relatively modest residential area. We don't have the numbers to fight what is coming. I don't know that many established societies do either, but at least if they went to Boulogne or more southernly than that, then there would be more time for the wholes to gather what support they need, and for the nations to gather what support. This is not a very the North is not very defensible in general.
And to be fair, we built all of this in a little over a year. If we make it through this, we'll have a lifetime to bring it all back.
Indeed.
There's nothing on the right side. So one thing I was thinking about, though, do we have any understanding about why the horde's it's coming towards the keep, right?
From what we can tell, at least.
I mean, is Evelyn just coming here to kill us first, or is this? I don't know. Seems weird to me. Seems like overkill. Or I guess we're just kind of in her path, huh?
She strikes me as extremely petty.
Maybe. I just always wondered, why is so much shit happening here, We know that people thought there was stuff buried under the keep, and I don't know.
It's like
Just always
Whitechapel.
I mean, I
always
think
felt like there's something we're missing.
the wild areas of the world are perhaps more prone to her incursions. Like we learned that the hobgoblins were Vanguard. Am I using the right one? Vanguard of her entry into a place, into a plane. I don't. She is petty, and perhaps she does know of our relative location in the world. But I also believe that a horde that size, she is confident that could wipe all the races off the face of the planet.
We fought one of her children in relatively our backyard.
Yes. I believe she would gather her strength in areas where the civilized races weren't looking, so she could do it relatively unmolested until we turned up.
And there are naturally creatures that are touched by chaos, are there not? Or more prone to it?
Everyone just gives Vela the side eye.
Yes, that is true, but perhaps that is intentional on her part, that she seeps into the world in the corners where there are few settlements far between.
I think we're making the same point.
Possibly.
It was just a thought, That's all seems just as logical as anything else, I just an instinct. I think the plan we got's the good one.
It's a good instinct. If there was something here that was drawing her, if we could figure out what that was and move it and get it out of the way of people.
But I've been thinking about it all year. I come up with nothing. But I ain't so smart as you guys, So I don't know.
All I do know is that Evelyn, whenever I met her, after Orithil, she could see into all of our minds. So if there was something here that she was attracted to that she wasn't attracted to before she met us, then it's something we all know about. Maybe we just don't know its importance. She pulled Kidius out of thin air out of my head, and I hadn't. Well, the only person I really talked to him about up here is Rose and Arthas. So he shouldn't have been on like the forefront of my thoughts for her to pull from.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
I get you. Well, I am gonna go tend to my garden, and if Helga's gonna be around for a little while, I might get her to cook us up some dinner. Maybe she wants to go to Booby Island though. Yeah, come find me when you're ready to start opening portals.
Remy will shuffle off.
Byron like watches him go and turns to the others. I think our plans to wait, perhaps for the potions, perhaps for the information on the army, anything we can do to delay it. Like Remy says, might be valuable to wait just one more day. And the evacuation, of course. And then with that all underway, we could make our journey to the plane.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Consensus.
Yes. Well, I think it's late. We've had a very long day getting here. I think I'm gonna. Oh, I should probably tell Arthas about the fact that it's an army so he can prepare the Elfinger. I'm gonna do that before bed. Anything else that I need to pass along?
Perhaps tell them that we are looking to evacuate this place and that we do not stand to defend it. Perhaps that we aim to delay the army as far as we can, but we aim to go for the heart. We do not know how long that will take and how far the horde will travel south. And good luck.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll react well to that. But I'll let him know.
Byron kind of, half shrugs and just it is the truth.
And she just nods. She's not exactly looking forward to telling Arthas that they plan on plane hopping into the heart of chaos and going after Evelyn.
I know that you wouldn't be, but the Byron just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaks truth to people.
Yeah.
Regardless if that's bad or good. Kind of.
Elishon's gonna go up to her rooms to do just that. With I think the last of her spell slots. She had 2 4th level spells left.
Chaos Army.
Yeah. She doesn't have any spell slots right now.
So I guess that just leaves Rose and Byron, and he's going to turn to her and go, I would do my best to see us safe, to see this plane safe, and to see us to the keep in the heart of chaos. I hope Lathander has some gifts for you and for us.
Have faith, my friend.
He smiles. I would say, I don't know if you want to insight. Rose is pretty insightful, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think that he is giving the reaction that he thinks that you want. Or I think you don't. You perhaps don't think. Let me roll. Let me see how much he believes and how much he actually has faith, having like met gods and things. Oh no! Actually, it is a more genuine smile than you think it is. Than you initially first thought. That he, I think. Yeah, given that, he's going to smile at you, and there's going to be like a moment, and then he's just going to say quietly, "I have faith in you," and then he's going to go off to his laboratory or something.
Rose would probably retire as well.
Alrighty. Alishan,
Mm-hmm.
what are you saying to Arthas?
So sending him a message, just letting him know Byron saw the storm is an army. We plan to go after Evelyn's heart in a few days. We're evacuating the keep.
Okay. So the spell works, but Arthas doesn't respond immediately.
Okay. That makes her nervous, but she felt it connect, right? It's just
Yeah.
he's not-
So
okay.
yeah, you reckon he's probably going to come over and speak to her in person soon.
Okay.
And then yeah, like 20 minutes later.
So yeah, she's like starts doing like the anxious room cleaning because her boyfriend's getting ready to sneak in the window.
Yeah, so 20 minutes later he flies in the window, and he looks again. He's got that kind of like 5 o'clock shadow. He hasn't slept in a while. It looks like his hair's all kind of like messed up, and his he just looks pretty rough at the moment. And his eyes are kind of wild and staring.
And I think whenever he comes in, like Elishon's just kind of standing in like the middle of her room, kind of like wringing her hands and pale looking herself. And whenever he flies in and just kind of staring at her, she just kind of stares back at him and it's just like, hey.
Hey.
Sorry, I just popped away. Did you need me?
No. So yeah, she's just kind of.
I totally just heard Byron coming into the middle of that scene.
He's like,
sorry. Wrong room.
Yeah, that's a bit worse than we thought.
Yeah. You're evacuating?
Yeah, we're gonna try and get people as far away from here as we can get them. Either south to Bellern or elsewhere, using the halls and their wizards, or the thing we got from the Algar that lets us send people to another plane. If they choose.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right. Squeezes the bridge of his nose. It's an army.
We have trolls and giants and hobgoblins and basically anything between us and the north that this storm has passed through. It's picked up drakes. Drakes. I didn't even know you guys had drakes. There are drakes.
Yeah, it slumps into the chair at your desk, and it kind of like groans under his weight slightly. Um, that's bad. The Orfanger aren't gonna just leave, no matter what. No matter what happens. And he sort of kind of starts like fiddling with stuff on the desk, just unable to sit still.
Yeah, there's probably that little wooden figurine that oh god. What's his name? Made for Elishon for Arden, that Arden made.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not really something that we can fight, that you guys could fight. And I know you guys have a statue, and maybe it won't come, but we don't have the people to stand against something like that.
I've been trying so hard to get my people moving, and it's been hard just to get them to retreat a little bit.
They don't
They're
want to
not
give
gonna
up what
leave.
you built.
He shakes his head.
They don't want to leave the tree.
They can't.
We're hoping that if we travel to Duskent and destroy Evelyn, that the chaos that's driving this army will fade and disperse. That's our hope. We don't have any guarantees that it'll work, but people are coming from the halls. But I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, he looks up at her, like, kind of, and you see there's like a steel in his eyes, and he says, "Is this the part where you say that I'm not coming?"
If I thought that you would agree, I might try to talk you out of it. But
he nods, and you see like relief kind of flood over his face, and you could tell like he was ready for a fight about that.
you and I are the others. This is an exercise and a theory to them. But you and I, we've been there. We know what it's like.
Yeah. His like lips trembling a little bit. It's yeah. I hope to never have to go back.
Yeah, me too. It sounds like this is the only way to really stop her and stop her for good.
Then we will.
We just have to, win. We can do that.
That's the easy part.
Um,
And he's just sort of like doing that Arthur's thing where he just kind of like doesn't say anything, doesn't really move, but just watches you.
she just smiles. I don't know if this will work. not entirely sure what we're going to do when we get there. We have to get to the castle somehow.
You'll find a way. You are the smartest people I've ever met. And I'm not worried about that at all. I just want to make sure you're safe while you do it.
Hey, we're both going to get out of it. Get out of this, all right?
You're not.
So no doing anything stupid like sacrificing yourself for me. You got that?
Sure. And you don't need an inside check to tell that he's lying through his teeth.
Hey, how many times do I have to say that if something happens to you, I wouldn't be able to handle it?
Yeah. Likewise. Let's just agree to make sure that nothing happens to either of us.
Deal.
Like grins and kind of stands up again and pulls you into a hug.
She doesn't really say anything.
Yeah. And he just kind of like, his face is against your neck and he just says, it's gonna be over soon.
Then we can get on with the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Whatever we have to go through after this, this is going to be small potatoes. We'll be telling stories about this. We'll just be like, this was nothing. I remember the great chaos wars of insert Galarian calendar year here.
697 or 698 now.
698.
He just like shakes his head and grins. Well, I better get going. There's a lot more I gotta do. And he looks like he's dreading it a bit.
Do you want me to call you back when you're done? And she kind of like grabs the acorn. Or do you need to stay?
I don't think I'm gonna have time. You can tell, like, he knows he's gonna be up for another whole night.
Well, get some sleep at some point.
Hmm.
That's my condition. You can only come save the world with us if you get some sleep beforehand.
All right, I will.
Okay. Good luck.
Love you.
Love you too.
And takes off again. Meanwhile, I can only assume there's a string of knocks on Byron's door.
Maybe. Sorry about before. I had to step away, and then there was just silence for like a good 5 seconds, and I was like, "Oh no, someone!" Oh no.
No, it was just awkward. Elishon and Arthas being awkward as always.
Well, so the thing where like Arthas doesn't really feel the need to talk much, and Elle just like
Stares at him.
Yeah.
Sure. Byron just wants to, tell his students to tell all the appropriate things.
Yeah.
Like some midnight figs would be nice. Whatever Kandri has in his personal.
Yeah. So the response is fairly immediate, and Kandri, like it, in the message, I imagine it's made clear that it's not just for, recreational purposes. It's like we need it for a thing. and so Country is able to supply you with his personal stash of 5. And he says he'll bring them around tomorrow.
Very
But
good.
apart from that, is everyone just going to bed for the night?
What I would like to try and start doing, as I have a couple of days to do it,
You assume.
I assume, yes. I would like to. We're going to evacuate the keep, but I would kind of like it to survive, and it does have the protected bubble. But what I would like to try and do is using, like Mirage Arcane and such, and many illusion spells I have at my disposal. Try and shape the keep into somewhat of, like a hilltop or a mountaintop. So they will literally just flow on by, not thinking it's there at all.
Right.
Like, you can't perhaps cover all of the ruins of the city and such, but the bit that they really care about, like the keep,
Yeah.
and it's in a walls. He can do like the Mirage Arcane's like a mile squared or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can get most of the town with that. Like,
Okay.
It's still not huge. There's only a few hundred people living there.
Sure.
It's still probably technically a village.
So,
but
here, it might be somewhat alarming to people. Maybe we'll have to attempt, probably tell Bazrag or something to tell the people, but he's going to try and shape a mountaintop or a cliff face or something over the entire keep, so they will just pass it by, not knowing exactly where it is. And maybe if, as I said, if the dome actually is a physical barrier to them getting in, if you could try and meld the sides of the cliff face to the dome, so when they smash into or bounce into the dome, if they were this high, for instance, they'd think of a cliff face. So he'll try and keep things.
Yeah, definitely
taking over. Yeah, send some messages, and maybe Minerva can go out scouting again. He's looking for any points of leadership or any weakness or whatever.
All right, perception check from Minerva.
Sure, will do. 16 on the die, plus 8. Is it me looking through her eyes?
No.
I don't know what an owl's perception is, but it's 16 plus whatever.
Cool, that's fine. Yeah, so you see kind of near the front, but not right at the front, is a somewhat familiar figure. He is it's about 12 feet tall, and is this huge red figure. His flayed body oozes with blood, and his skinless form is a mess of bone and gore. He's this like skull face, kind of. It's almost like a mask, but it's part of the bone of his face. He's got these weird kind of horns and spikes, and this hideous kind of grin as his bottom jaw kind of just lolls around. He carries these sort of 2 like wicked-looking blades that are kind of just burning with chaos energy, and he's just like marching on into the night, surrounded by smaller denizens. And that's Edrakeen, the blood.
Sorry, what was that name again?
I'm giving you like 500 times. Edrakeen. It's pronounced all right in the chat.
Okay.
It's actually the first I've heard of it, so.
Well, it's not, because you had dreams about him in the fucking first season.
We didn't get their names in the first season.
So, this is the flayed Chaos Lord guy that is all skinless?
Yes.
And
yes.
you said like disjointed jaw and glowing chaos blades and the rest of it.
Disjointed jaw, blowing. Oh, yeah. Glowing chaos blades. Weird skull face.
Okay. I think that was the one that originally appeared to Byron in the first dream.
Mm-hmm. Twice.
Gold face. Cool. So there's at least one Chaos Lord. And Minerva returns. I guess Byron gets that, sometime during the night or something before, like, it's too late to go around and talk to people, I guess. So is that for tomorrow's news, or is it timely enough?
Yeah, I mean, you can if you think it's important enough, you can tell. I imagine it's late, but it's not like obscenely late.
It's not really going to change anything because we can't do anything until the morning.
True.
In terms of spells, so I guess we'll save that information for the morning.
Very well. Night comes and goes. The morning, and the sun seems darker again almost. It seems the army and the storm has continued encroaching during the night, tirelessly moving, and looms high above you. And the drakes are like wheeling dangerously close at this point.
Like, how far away would we guesstimate this storm is?
You reckon you could ride there on horseback in a day?
It's a day
And
away.
they'll be upon us in a day then, or sooner?
Hard to tell, but they're not on horseback.
Okay. So a little longer, probably.
Probably.
Okay.
That being said, they are traveling through the night as well.
Right.
We are partially shrouded now, so
Right.
you
Well,
might
time to give people the option to leave then.
Are you going to go out and do that alone, or are we discussing over breakfast?
Remy certainly can, but we have breakfast. We can talk about it.
If we are breakfasting, you might notice that there is somewhat of a shade set, perhaps, or an obfuscation from the mountain illusion. I've begun plans to hide us from the encroaching force. Might gain us some time, or keep this place standing.
That'd be nice.
Indeed, it would.
Arthur says that the Elfinger won't move, but we knew that already.
We knew it. I could perhaps do the same for them. Try change the land and dissuade the forces, move them by the Marin Tree. If we have time for preparation like that.
Could you? You have time for... It took you quite a bit of time to set this up here.
If you think you can do it, they deserve it. But the
Yeah.
best way to do it might be...
They do. It just comes at a cost. That's what magic does. But
our energies off.
You're
roboted the whole sentence.
Oh, can you not hear me?
No. Try again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we can
can.
hear you now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, now,
What the fuck did I say? Oh no.
They deserve it. They do.
yeah, they deserve the path out of here, or to them. And why don't you spend your time doing that, and I'll get everybody off the plane who wants to leave by way of the key.
Okay. I sent Minerva out again. They are dangerously close, as anyone can see, but the flayed one walks among them.
Oh,
I will not speak his name, given what we have learned of the Chaos Lords previously, that they
okay.
know of it. But
GDI.
I remember that. We all saw his face in the dreams some time ago, but he carries great glowing chaos blades and seems to lead. I did not see any other, though I think we know that there's one other Chaos Lord remains.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we might want to stay and kill him first. Was he at the center of everything?
He is where he is. I do believe he is. To give the models of this plane a chance, perhaps we can try to defeat him, waylay him.
Would that stop his army?
It might delay it.
Couldn't
It might
hurt.
stop it.
I just don't know that we can waste time or resources.
I just
Well-
know that we have fought the Chaos Lords and that they've put up quite the fight.
It might slow it down some, not having its leader. It might disperse it, give us even more time to prepare.
That's my thinking. That maybe we torpedo their actions on this plane. That it gives people a better chance of fighting back. If something goes wrong on Duskent.
And if Remy falls in battle, or you, Byron?
If I fall, everything's lost. So don't even worry about it.
Exactly my point.
I was just shooting the shit. No, I mean, you
It's a
guys
valid
do all right
question.
without me.
Don't be so sure of that. But that's not the argument here. I mean, we're going to evacuate our people. Why do we need to stop this army? I mean,
Fair point. Maybe we don't.
I mean, they will eventually reach the realms of other people in this world. I don't know how long time passage is on Dasken compared to here. We may need all the time we need, or we can get.
Does Elishan know? Because whenever she went to Duskent, like it seemed like she had a long time with Evelyn before she came back, and it was like
Yeah.
seconds later.
Time defo moves much slower there. That's something that
So
you
once
have
we
to-
arrive, a lot more will happen on this plane.
a lot.
No, the
less.
reverse.
You have more time over there than you do over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Like
yes.
an hour, a couple seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was able to
Same
have
thing.
like, go for a casual stroll and talk and get like
Right.
mentally tortured before she came back, and it was like seconds later.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then maybe we just go. I mean, if we can go there and do the whole thing in a day, and it's only been half a day here.
Maybe we do. And I can only presume perhaps the other Chaos Lord has been kept back to defend her.
So it won't be too easy of a fight. That's all right with me.
Quite possibly. I would hope that the Chaos Planes had emptied into this horde.
We had planned on weren't we going to scry on them, on the Chaos Lords? But we couldn't yesterday because we were tapped out. Weren't we going to do that today
We talked about it.
to see if they?
I-
I'm
we can do
remembering us-
so.
Yeah, I remember us like discussing this, but
We-
I don't remember if we did it.
We only have to screw in the remaining one, as we know that at least one is here.
You guys figure that out. I'm gonna head down to the courtyard and see if I can get Bazrak to round up some of the residents of the keep. I'm gonna start having a talk about travel options.
I do tell them that members of the halls are coming, and
Of course.
evacuate them today.
God, I'll lay it all out for him in as plain common as I can.
Thank you very much, Remy.
Yeah, you bet.
When he's gone, I will turn to the others that are more arcanely minded. I can protect the Orathil with Mirage Arcane, but it will cost me my ability to shift the planes. is particularly pertinent right now.
I have that ability. And the only thing that I would be giving up for the day would be the ability to regenerate and then the mansion. So I can have that in reserve for us if we need.
And if you go down or you aren't there for whatever reason, if you are both willing to pay this cost to our friends, then I will do it.
I am not without my own means for planar travel.
Very well. I can travel there after breakfast and do what needs must.
My only thoughts are creatures that are mindless in nature. Would they be easily fooled by an illusion?
And the
don't have
caliber
the-
of illusion that I am able to conjure has physical ramifications, repercussions. You saw how it slowed down the army. I hope, in combination with the Dome of Force protection that the witch statues generate, that maybe I could trick them into not thinking this is an area of necessary ransacking.
I was rather fond of when you put the giant muzzle on Gaiad as a dragon. That was rather satisfying.
I am no mere conjurer of cheap tricks.
Exactly.
I. It is all that I can offer, and it is more than they have right now. More than we have right now. You'd be surprised what a placed illusion can do. Or maybe not.
No, I've seen it in action. I just wanted to make sure.
And on a mechanical basis, Mirage Arcane is actually so strong that it...
Yeah.
Effectively, I do get what you're getting at, that a mindless beast would, keep lumbering forward regardless, but I would hope that, them going...
You
"Oh,
also remember that the Chaos Lords could, in the past, they've been able to see invisibility and whatnot.
Sure. But that's up to, I suppose, up to a certain distance, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
They might go, that's a cliff face. We'll go west from here and not get anywhere close.
From a distance, it will still have the same effect. But if they get close, they got blind sight. So, they will be able to start to maybe see through, but only within 60 feet. So it's still viable because you're not
Mechanically, if it's true sight, they'll be able to see.
around.
If it's blind sight, they'll only be able to see movement within 60 feet. And if everyone's gone, then they won't know any different. Maybe.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
mean,
blind sight's
they're not
true
going to go.
sight.
Yeah, but they're not going to go up and start inspecting
Inspecting,
a mountain that looks like a mountain.
Yeah. Reality is perception, and
although I will say that town on the hill did become that they could see from miles away. Did just suddenly become a mountain.
I mean, I'd hope that they'd done it from a distance that they wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still a grey keep.
2 days away
turning into a grey mountain.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is there's a non-zero chance that they can realize something's going on.
It's always a non-zero chance, I guess. But Byron's smart. He would have done it in a realistic way, and he doesn't know how good their eyesight is. I don't know. I'm just trying here. Right. Well, I hope to receive the fig sometime today. Might be able to create the potions relatively quickly, and if we have more time on Descent than what we do have here, then that'll be very good for us.
I mean, it is a thought to not waste our resources.
No. The protections around the keep, Byron, can shift at any time. It's the Ulfinger that would be new, but I don't think they have similar means besides the witch statue. I don't know if that'll be enough. It might be. Maybe they'll swing by and not hit them at all. It's a lot of maybes that we don't know. And so we just kind of have to make those decisions and sacrifices where we have to.
Remy,
Right.
you so Bazrag, you sort of explain the situation to Bazrag, and once he understands it, he kind of I imagine he kind of sends out people to talk and that kind of thing, and a few people kind of start showing up, and sort of a small crowd forms around you, sort of just like looking at you expectantly, waiting kind of for further explanation.
All right, folks. Well, here's the deal. Sure you've all noticed the inclement weather coming this way. That is, in fact, a very bad army full of all kinds of things that will wipe over you and all civilization probably very soon. We've got a plan to fix that, but just in case we fail, we have two options for you to get the fuck out of here. Number one is you go through this key to another dimension filled with boobs and very nice ladies with names like Tiffany. The other option is Byron's friends from the Halls of Ivy are coming, and they'll be here in a day or two, I think. And you can get on a ship with them, or they'll teleport you out of here. And those are your options. So, Booby Island, fleeing south, but you can't stay here. Any questions?
The crowd just sort of is in a stunned silence for a moment, all just kind of looking at each other. Kind of one like younger kind of child just pipes up and says, "What's a dimension?"
Yeah, that's a good question. I was a little fuzzy on the concept myself until recently. So it's like another place where you can go, and it's not here. Different world, different planet, different people. This one's real nice. I know Tiffany, and she said she'd look after you guys. I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's safe, is really the point. But anyway, look.
Remy will take his key out and think of Booby Island and stick it in the air and open the door.
And say, look, you can walk through there right now and be safe, probably forever. Disadvantage is, if we die, we can't come get you, so you're stuck. Yeah.
The crowd will begin slowly backing away at the sight of like terrifying new magical concepts to them.
I mean, consider all the things you people have seen since you moved up here, right? I mean, you saw me cannonball a dragon off of another dragon's back and kill it. This is not the craziest thing you've ever seen. We got like 4 walking giant golems that protect this place. And, just trust me. This is a good option for you. But so is going south if you don't, trust the magic door in the air. That's fine.
And the holes are coming to take us?
Yeah,
Woman
couple
asks.
days. If you want. Disadvantage there is, again, if we lose, you risk death.
After sort of some time of debate. Like a couple of people come forward to sort of take you up on your offer, but the majority seem to prefer to put it in the hands of the halls rather than Remy.
Sure. Yeah, well, understandable. Just thought you'd like to know that this was an available option. If anybody decides they'd like to go to Booby Island or really anywhere else in the wide plains of existence, just let me know. And close the door. You two have fun. Bye, Tim. Bye, Drake.
And they're just like already got, like flower necklaces and coconuts.
They're totally stoked.
Yeah. Like the world's best gap year. So, what are the keepers doing after?
It's gonna go great for them until they
Breakfast.
sacrifice them to like their cannibalistic god that Remy didn't meet because he went on Tuesday.
Turns out it's just that island from that one shot we did. All right, played that fucking psychopath.
He was insane.
I missed this, so I do not get that reference.
It was
super edgelord.
They found like a guy who couldn't die, so Dylan just kept like he cut off his head and buried it.
Put it on a pike.
The dude was just like complaining the whole time.
They put it on a pike at one point.
Oh yeah, but he could like still feel and speak, and they just like mounted his head on a pike on a beach.
Think I did bury him eventually, or I threw him in the ocean once. I don't know.
You threw him in the.
Just try to get him to shut up.
Yeah, he did talk a lot, to be fair. All right, so what's everyone up to then?
Once everything's done, Remy's gonna head up and start gearing up, assuming that we'll hopefully be getting ready to go soon.
Byron's gonna go visit the Allfanger again and try shape something, like a giant rock or something around the dome. Whatever is reasonable in his eyes.
I imagine probably the best way is like a forested hill, maybe.
Sure.
So it looks like the forest just kind of rises up slightly for seemingly no reason.
Geography. He will try obfuscate them from the encroaching hordes even further with more protection.
Alishon's gonna go with and be all like, say like thank you like 1,000 times to Byron.
You see Arthur's again. He does look like he's had a sleep, though he still looks pretty haggard.
Alishon, it's been 867 times that you have thanked me during this journey. I have got the gist of it.
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure that you know that I'm grateful and I appreciate all you've done for the Elfinger.
They have done a lot to deserve it. Both for us and the keep as a whole.
Yeah. Arthur says there's less than 100 of them now.
I think that even makes Byron feel a little guilty. Ouch, low blow.
No, she didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, there's less than 100 of them now that you've sent them to war.
And there's soon to be 0.
That is unfortunate news. They deserve all the protection and efforts that we can.
If we can get everyone through this, they'll rebuild. It's not a matter of waiting a few generations. They can recruit people in. There might be some people who, I don't know, after all that's happened in the keep, maybe they'll prefer the wilderness after everything's all said and done. Ranks might swell some. Maybe. Who knows? Stranger things have happened.
As long as we succeed in what we are doing, I'm sure everyone can rebuild, including us.
Just to make sure everyone gets that chance.
That everyone gets that chance. And I don't know. I presume we went via the ship to not use magical energy, but also go there quickly. So
Yeah.
we're surfing across the treetops as this is going on. And Byron performs whatever's reasonable. Uses a seventh slot.
Yeah,
up.
definitely. I think he can make quite an easy sort of, it's Byron. Whatever. Reality is whatever he makes it. Byron is the DM at this point.
I mean, Mirage allows you to turn like marshes into, flat wheat fields and the rest of it and back again. I'm sure we can make a hill out of it and actually have physical forms of a hill.
Yeah. While that's all going on then, what's Rose up to?
Good question. So who's all left at the keep?
You and Remy for now.
You're minus Drake and who was the other guy?
And Tim.
And Tim. Tim and Drake left. Everybody else is still there.
Rose will probably go find
Tim
Remy.
and Drake.
Yep, go find Tim and Drake. Rose is gonna go find Remy.
Yeah, you'll find him just in his room, probably. He seems to be just enjoying creature comforts for as long as he can. So he's having a nice little like fruit and cheese plate, and drinking some nice, beer and.
Oh, Rose, come on in. How you doing?
Rose has probably got a bottle of whiskey.
Now you're talking. Sit it down.
Brings out a couple glasses.
She gets out a deck of cards.
All right. If you want to lose your money.
Don't be so sure of that.
He'll play a game if that's what she wants to do.
Yep.
Something on your mind, Rose?
Yeah. I'm afraid about the cost that may be asked of us to defeat Evelyn. Now, I know what I'm getting into, and you know what you're getting into, and I'm sure the others do as well. But it may be expected of me to sacrifice myself for this.
Well, I mean, we've all kind of put that expectation on ourselves at this point numerous times over. So, I mean, it depends what you mean. In that way, sure, but I mean, if you're telling me that your God commanded you to die, well, I say fuck that. Die if you want to, but not because someone else told you.
It wasn't so much that he commanded me to die as he made it pretty clear that this fight is
require one of our lives.
Well,
either directly or just because it'll be that difficult.
When I was lost, I had lost someone very close to me, and I was looking for direction. Coming north was something that was heavily put upon my, I guess you could say, upon my soul. and my spirit. I really felt called to this place. I thought that I could do some good up here, but and as time went on, I thought maybe that was my own hubris.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you don't think that you've done good?
No,
Up here?
I've done good. We've done good. We've done.
Rose, you're the only reason any of us are alive. And we are the bulwark for the rest of this world.
Yes, but there are times when it can get into your head that you're more important than you are. And
Rose, some people have an inflated sense of ego. You save the fucking planet on a daily basis. And you're a picture of humility. You're too hard on yourself. And listen, if somebody's gonna die to save the world, well, fuck it. We pretty much signed up for the job at this point. But, I mean, cosmic burden and all that, I mean, it's only real if you think about it too much. And you're a thinker.
sometimes to my own detriment.
You got faith, right?
Yeah.
Don't make any decisions because you think you have to. Just, you'll know when the time comes what to do.
You're a good man.
Well, you know, sometimes I do kill a lot of people.
Well, you're a good man. Better than you think. Now, are you gonna fucking bet or not?
I mean, I was kind of hoping to finish this game. I'm winning.
It's canon now.
You're not.
I established it.
You're not even. I'm about ready to make my comeback.
All right, well, let's finish this game and then go to bed. Good whiskey, by the way. Thank you.
No, welcome. Pour yourself another one.
By all means.
All right, so roll a d20 and add your dex.
No, I think I'll add my wisdom.
All right, fine. Which just means Remy's cheating. All right, 13.
Is my wisdom on? That is going to be 24.
Ah,
God damn it! Forget everything I said. Fuck you. Get out of my room.
All right. See you on the other side, friend.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Awesome. And so, I imagine it comes to lunch, kind of comes and goes. You all have the afternoon to prepare, and you get the sense that it's not going to be much more than a day until 0 hour.
Has anyone turned up yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, at some point in the afternoon, Kandri just teleports into the courtyard, and kind of eventually finds his way through to you, Byron. And he's got a small box with him, and he says, "Arbiter Rutherford, it is good to see you."
Ah, bet you could find us on the edge of the world.
Kind of looks like a library. This is not a bad place, it seems. Too cold for me, though.
It is that. I do miss the summers in Virus, but it is the corner of the world that I have called home, defended.
He nods, kind of understanding that. I have brought the figs for you, though I am curious as to their use.
We've picked up some texts along our time, and Elishan Vessler, who has worked tirelessly to see this world righted, discovered that the figs may well have properties against chaos or against malignant magics.
Elishan Vessler. Why do I know that name?
She was of the halls of Ivy until she was punished and sent here far north.
Ah, of course. She... She is the one who lost the tiefling.
She is. But if you have been privy to my reports, she is...
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for defending you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to... If you have seen my reports, she has more than made up for that error.
And was proven innocent.
Yeah, it wasn't her fault, man.
Yeah, it wasn't her fault.
And that, she reminds me. Those are issues of the past, and she has done a great deal for the present and the future of Wall of Lament.
I will not judge her on what others have said. He kind of inclines his head slightly.
You are the pragmatist.
I would also just like to say that I have sent word to all of the halls in Lament, trying to rally for support. But I must say, many of the responses have been less than satisfactory. I wish there is more I could do, but we will get as many people out as possible.
I would appreciate that greatly. And if you take them to Belen or Virus or more suddenly than that, it'll give the nations more time. I'm sure their concern will grow.
I have employed the services of the plowshares to set up refugee camps, a place for them to stay in both Belern and Viros. So we will split the people between those, try and keep families together.
I don't know. Has he visited me in the library or something?
Yeah, he's in the library.
Yeah. Byron leans back slightly on his chair. It is interesting that I've learned that the most pragmatic of those among us are criminals. They often act the quickest. Most
They are not
responsive.
bound by bureaucracy, I find. And he sort of gives like a half smile. We have an understanding.
We do. And he'll say that the plowshares have a depot, a guild hall of some sort, and he kind of waves his hand, and there's a virtual map kind of thing. They will no doubt already have made plans. They can assist your men in evacuating the populace.
You allowed them to build this?
As you said, we have an understanding.
He gives you that kind of gold-rimmed smile again. Which is a wise move. They are good to have on your side.
When, as you said, when the organized factions of this world take a long time to grind into gear, the criminal elements do not. They prove themselves useful.
Indeed. Our plan is to begin teleportations immediately. We have circles set up and there are many on standby to begin transfers. It will be easiest if you have your people congregate in the courtyard for us.
We can see that done. The Castellian Bazrag is a very organized man.
Craig is the Castellan.
Is he
Bazrag is the captain of the guard.
officially Castellan? Okay, I thought
Well-
Crick was something, less official.
Wodek was the Castellan, but
Sure.
all his duties have been absorbed by Craig.
Okay,
So Craig is at least acting Castellan, if not officially.
between between Craig and Bazrag, we can see that done very quickly. Both organized men of purpose.
Good.
Um,
Well, he sort of like looks out the window at the storm. I hope you have a plan.
we have the best one we've managed to concoct. As far as
Is
I
there
understand,
anything more I can do?
sorry. Give us
You
all the
go.
time that we can.
Yeah.
As far as I understand it, Duskend travels slower than our plane, giving us a larger margin for success. But he's going to show an illusion of the flayed one, and he's going to call him the flayed one rather than his proper name. This creature, as far as we can tell, leads the horde. He may not be the one that ultimately commands it, but he is one you should look out for. If he can be waylaid or destroyed, it might hinder the advance. But it is no easy task.
Okay. I'm like staring at the image.
Yeah.
We will do our best.
Given what little time you have, corruption, even from proximity to this chaos, can be rife. There is a cure that I've created, but it takes some time. Just know that people tend to turn violent and peculiar. It is all in great detail within the reports.
I have begun to read them. I will endeavor to get through them so that I may understand this threat truly.
He stands and like comes round from the desk, extends his hand. Thank you for being the one who saw the true insight that I had to share with the council.
He kind of nods and says, there are many good men on that council, but they are men of theory. When Isthus weaves the skins of fate, theory does not matter. And you just kind of squeeze your hand. It is time, I think.
It is. Keep them alive for me.
I'll do my best. You sort of release your hand. Thank you, Arbiter Rutherford. And just
He's
turns
also-
and walks away.
Okay. I think he's left sort of standing as the guy retreats down the corridor. And I think like there's just like a moment of self pondering. I don't think Byron would show like a weakness of like the relief or something, or any of that. He just stands and watches him go, and then perhaps like there's a slight twist of the wrist, and like the mage hand closes the door, and he gets back to planning. Now with the figs ready to make I think there is a slight, underlying of, damn, if only there was like another one or something that he could pleasure for that one, like that one last time to have that pleasure of that taste before the end of the world. But
Yeah.
he will not given to that desire, and he will make 5 potions, I presume.
The potion itself, or it makes a salve and several doses, and the doses last for 5 to 7 days. So that's up to
Okay.
up to the DM how many
So
doses
I'll
of
say like
salve you
2
get.
figs is 2 figs is enough for like all of you and whichever party members you
Okay.
feel like.
Oh. In that case, I imagine they came in like a really ornate box or something like that, and he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah. I said he had a box.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely like a dark wood,
Oh
like
yeah,
carved,
yeah. I'm
a
seeing
shari ass box. Yeah,
it. Shari ass box.
it's an Ashari ass box.
Yeah, he's gonna close that around like the remaining 3 if he only needs 2, and then he's gonna like pocket it for if they see it out.
That's not to be confused with an Ashari ass box, which is different.
Yeah, for celebrations afterwards. He needs his mind to be clear for now. So he'll get to potion making for however long it takes today.
Cool. What's everyone else doing?
So, who all are we evacuating from the keep? Like everyone but us? Everyone but us?
Everyone.
Yeah.
We're not
Seems, yeah.
even going to be here after we
Yeah.
teleport away. So
That's what I'm saying, though, is like everyone but us.
Everybody
Yeah.
who's not in the raid party, yeah. So it's
In the
us
raid
plus.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
little
yeah.
World of Warcraft raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who's not in your guild.
Is everyone going willingly?
I mean, we can't force them, so they'll either get on the boat or they won't. Not our problem. I think.
I think that's her way of asking Rob if there's anybody that refuses to leave, because there's always people who refuse to evacuate when the government tells them to evacuate.
Pretty sure they're like
I'm staying right here. No. Everyone pretty much is willing
That was
to
a
go.
little bit racist.
Yeah.
I mean, it is Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not completely tank my career here.
Are all the general populace going?
Yeah, so no one, like, when you're faced with this kind of cosmic terror, you're not gonna
Sure.
escape a chance to get away. The only people who would like be loath to go, like Vela, Willow, people who have a vested interest in your safety, or an emotional interest in your safety, I should say.
I am just going to pop away for a second, but I'm happy to have a Vela
Yeah,
scene
we can take a 5-minute break.
in a moment. Cool.
Yes,
I think.
Cheers.
Cool.
Oh boy.
This is the end.
It really is. Hmm. Oh well. Byron tried. Byron tried to rally the peoples, but
Oh, what happened?
damn peoples. And
The peoples.
just I for some reason thought that no, humanity might poo-poo the idea that the world is ending and not gather together and defend each other until it's far too late. At least some of them tried.
Has that not happened?
And what Country was saying that he tried to send messages out to the halls and that not all of them have been,
Responding.
yeah, or more than positive in their reactions. So,
Mm.
The foolishness of humanity. And
Mm-hmm.
they will bury their heads in the sand until danger knocks on their doorstep. But
The problem is we've been far too efficient.
yeah,
It's true. we should have let them get wiped out, or at least a little bit.
Like
so
a
that they
little,
don't have to stay
yeah,
away.
like a little killed, like slightly killed.
Yeah. Just mostly dead, not all dead.
And then they would have been like, oh, okay, rally to the final cause for the final battle. But
But then
instead,
they'd be mostly dead. So
well, I mean, but then now those fuckers are sitting down there in their halls or whatever, getting fat, enjoying their time with their loved ones.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of eating and getting fat, we should have a hero's feast.
Mm-hmm.
You are not the boss of me.
I'm looking forward to a Rose party sub.
Yep, you get the party sub.
Oh,
Party so special.
I hate so much that it's just one long sandwich.
Why?
Like,
you don't like party
I
subs?
don't know. It just really bothers me, the image, because I'm just imagining, like, what would the plate be like? Is it going to get filthy? Is it just going to be like straight on the table?
Dude, have you
so
never
much-
had a 6-foot sub?
don't really
6
get
foot
those
sub?
things over here.
There's
Yeah,
like a 24
no,
foot.
but this is like, I mean, it's a hero's feast.
Well,
More
it's
than
magical. It
6 feet.
doesn't mean it has
12
to
feet
be
at
like
least.
tons of food.
It's been established that after the meal that they all had, when they all went out to dinner or whatever, that Rose now makes her hero's feast as a replica of those dishes.
Yeah. But all inside a 6 foot Italian sub.
Dude, it's like
I
4 kinds of
mean-
meat, cheese, provolone, mozzarella, vinaigrette. Oy.
All right. Is everyone back?
I mean, I can talk more about party subs if you want.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Nah, I can't. That's all I got.
No, it's not really like one big long sandwich, but it's a bunch of loaves cut into a single sandwich size. Like they don't make buns or loaves of bread that fucking big.
Yes, they do. Have you seen people trying to beat a Guinness World Record?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
they don't make that.
Listen, if Rose wants to make magical 12-foot party subs, Rose can make magical 12-foot party subs.
You're
Right.
not the boss of me.
Right.
Well, I just got the really terrible feeling that Byron's going to eat it with a knife and fork.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, no, Byron, no! Screaming in my own head, but it's like just unrelentingly knife and forking.
I find sandwiches a bit gauche.
A convenient food you can carry in your own hands. What is this?
All the drink for those red
Byron
parties.
doesn't carry anything in his own hands.
No,
That's very true.
Dirty myself.
Alright. So, whole fucking conversation to assume that yes, in fact, Rose does perform a hero's feast.
I would.
We eat
So
it with gusto.
who is heroes feasting? We have to
Yeah.
organize the raid
Mhm.
party and stuff.
Yeah,
We got
Arthas needs to
cream.
You
get
guys are
your-
just like you're standing outside the boss room, like applying your buffs.
Yep. So we got Kreen, Arthas. Are we taking like Silver with us? Is Silver here? He's a dragon. Let's bring him along.
I mean,
I mean, is this you guys just going straight? Yeah.
Are we
Well,
going to Evelyn or are we going after Edra?
I think we're going straight to Duskant to maximize our time in the hyperbaric time chamber.
I guess unless we have like a reasonable plan to go kill that Lord of Chaos to give us more time in the hyperbaric time chamber, like if we feel if we go to this other plane, more people will die if we don't kill the Chaos Lord dude.
So, did Rose pack? What is it? The one that tells you weal or woe. What's it called? Divination.
augury.
Augury. The first level spell.
Actually, I did
What?
for this very moment.
You're the best, Jade.
I know. I didn't want to commune again, but I needed to talk to my god.
All right. Remind me. I've never had a player cast this spell before.
All right, let me bring it up. And it's a second level spell. All right. So basically, I get about you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity, my deity, about the result of a specific course of action you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. Wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both good and bad results, and nothing for results that aren't especially good or bad. I don't know why I give you those last two, because you're going to fuck us with those, but I'm going to ritual cast it.
Okay, so what is the... Are you trying to find out if it's going to be wheel or woe if you go now, or sort of thing? Like, is Edrakeen and his army going to sweep in and like destroy some big stuff, or?
Yeah, going to bypassing Edrakeen to go to the plane. Is that good or bad?
You get wheel and woe.
Lathander says, "Oh."
No, would be nothing. It's more like,
It's kind of like there will be losses either way. It's up to
yeah. He's basically like, you get the impression it's like, yeah, it's gonna. It might be, it might be better right now to take out the, Chaos Lord leading the army. But that means you get less time in Daskent. But then if you go to Daskent, it might mean that the Chaos Lord army does more damage. It's down to you guys.
Did we determine who's coming?
I think what we
So
need
like
to decide
the
what
whole
we're-
afternoon, they've been shipping people out. Like as you've been heroes feasting and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Right, but who's eating the feast with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're asking you, man. Don't just us.
Well, it's not my choice. Who are you bringing?
Well, I was gonna say that's the other thing too. Is
Arthas.
Yeah, I don't choose who fucking eats your food.
How many people can eat a hero's feast? 6?
10? 6? 20?
$1,000,005.
42.
Up to 12.
Okay. Who are our heaviest hitters? Arthas and Crane. Well,
Is
This
Vela
isn't a
coming?
heavy hitter. He takes hits.
true. I just mean people who are above level 10. Are Bjord or Kirianti here?
Yeah, they've been down in the town, I believe.
Boo, 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 boo.
How many NPCs do you want to give Rob to
Yeah,
manage?
exactly.
Like more than the party?
It is kind of up to you, Rob, because I mean, you will have to run these people.
Yeah, no, I know. Dude, I've been planning for this for like 3 weeks.
Okay. So then, if he's telling us to go nuts, then like I don't think we should pull back, right? So if Kirianti and Bjorn can come, if Silfer can come,
Remember, only like 8 people can. Is that only 8 people can plane shift?
Yeah, only 8 people can teleport. I think plane shift.
aren't we using the key?
Oh, well, we have to get people back.
Okay.
We have to get people back from Duskend.
Yeah. Remember,
Yeah,
the
'cause
key
if
has
you
a
can't-
cooldown.
The key has a tool. Well, right, but it's a number of minutes, so I mean that'll
Yeah, it's
we'll be
probably
there for probably a day or two.
plane shift is you and up to 8 willing creatures.
So 9 total.
But I mean, again, also, like, not everyone who eats the feast has to necessarily come.
No, I mean it
Sure.
could also be a thing of sharing a last meal with.
With friends. Yeah. I mean,
What
I
about
feel
Fork and
Queen should
Lore?
come, and I feel like Arthur should come, and I would like to speak to Vela, and I feel that she might. I mean, she doesn't have a reason to stay, so I feel like she might end up coming. I don't. With Kirianti and Bjorn, like also feel that this world needs heroes, if you know what I mean. Like they need someone to rally people and fight back the tide to give us time to fight it, fight Evelyn. But also, then Rob has to manage 2 less people.
So you're saying leave behind who? Sorry.
And Kirianti and Bjorn. Like
Oh.
maybe we take Kreen and Arthas and Vela.
I mean, not to metagame, but is Vela more capable than Kirianti or Bjorn?
Yeah.
She is. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
So-
I mean, she's also a as high a level as Kreen and Arthas is, or
Yeah.
roughly.
Kareen, Arthas, and Vela are all your guys' level.
Oh, nice.
Kirianti and Bjorn are level 10.
I mean, I would say if Rob's up for it, might as well. If we're trying to say from a game mechanics point of view that it would be a little too bogged down, then I'm fine with that logic too. That's fine.
Amen. It's up to you guys.
In the same vein, like
On one hand, if they're only level 10, we're level 16. That's a 6 level gap. They're gonna anything that we go and fight, they're gonna be like conned, like red to, and be dead in like 1 or 2 hits.
Yeah, well, it'll
Yeah.
sort of be on them to stay back and provide support.
I will also say
That's
that
on them.
this decision will have ramifications in like your world. So there is going to be a fight in your world, and
Yeah.
the Allfang at the keep, how far the army gets, how many people the army takes over.
Ooh.
That's all going to be impacted by this decision.
Ooh.
No, they should eat with us for sure, but I don't think they should come because they're.
None of them all? None of them at all?
No. I mean,
Oh, Creed's
Bjorn
coming.
and Kirianti. Arthas is coming.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, that seems to sound like more or less consensus, so I'm fine with that.
The love interest can come. I'm sorry that you broke up with Cathane, because then you'd have someone to bring to.
I guess
mean,
so.
Wait, are we bringing Willow?
Did
I
you
could
have
try to bring Arthas's mom.
Or Brick.
Brick is dead.
I
Way to
thought he
bring up.
died.
Yeah, way to bring up.
Brick died.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to bring up the past, Dan.
We're bringing Willow.
She can eat with us. I don't know.
She can.
She's like level 7.
Yeah, I was
I was
going to
gonna
say
say,
she's less
okay,
than
okay.
level 10.
Whenever I said love interest, I was counting Crean for Rose. No.
Well, what about what's the dragon Sulfur? Is he around?
Yeah, Silver's around.
I mean, Sulfur is pretty powerful, right?
Silver might be a really good defense to have around the keep, though. A fucking dragon against a bunch of.
He is, but he can't go full dragon for very long.
Okay, but he's not a dragon. Is he still a badass?
Yeah. Like if you remember, like when I'm on, he was like jumping around and punching people into oblivion. Silver's not quite that strong, but yeah, he can like he can do damage.
Isn't
But-
he like easily like befuddled and clueless and stuff? Like that's how we found
Yeah, he's-
him.
Yeah, you found him and he didn't know who he was.
Like Evelyn is like
better.
really good at manipulating people and turning them against each other and whatnot. Like we know that of Chaos.
I don't think we need to. Yeah, to that point, Dan, and I agree with you 100%. I don't think we need to give Evelyn a fucking shadow dragon to play with.
You mean by bringing him to Duskant?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's already shown a vulnerability, sort of like mentally, that he's been manipulated by people lesser than Evelyn. That
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
fucking bog witch.
yeah,
Right.
that he lost his entire identity, and yes, he is very strong, but we may well end up, ruining the day that we brought a dragon along. And
Sure. Well, in the interest of just advancing things, let's just say that we take the three
okay,
main squeezes, and we'll go ahead.
sure,
Crean is totally a main squeeze.
we might, yeah. Green is best squeeze.
Yeah, he is the best of us.
is the best squeeze.
There's gotta be like a little tray of conquerors on the hero's feast just for Crean.
Yeah. So
I mean,
like
yeah.
all of the peoples can eat the hero's feast or whatever. Was it up to 12 people that will take
Yeah.
the relevant peoples?
Yeah, so they can stay behind with our cool ass buff, and it's like whenever the level 20s like buff all the people, all the level 1s in EverQuest, you're totally not gonna like do anything with that buff, but it feels really cool for a little bit.
Toads.
EverQuest.
All right. Do we have to convince anybody to leave the keep?
No. I think in this situation, there is no one who wants to stay. Like seeing the like actual chaos like rearing up before you. There's no one stubborn enough to be like, oh yeah, I'm staying here. I paid my dues and I'm no one's that attached. Everyone's getting out.
What about Willow and like Sulfur and Bjord and County? Are they like leaving, or are they hanging around waiting to see how we fare? Or like you said that nobody is staying, but you also said that people we leave behind might help protect here. But if they're all leaving, how can they do that?
Yeah, so
No,
Well,
no one's
protect the
fighting
plane of
it.
existence.
Yeah, protect the plane.
well,
then.
I would say that Kirionti could not, in good conscience, just leave the Allfanger to their fate. So he and Bjorrid are going to go with the Allfanger to help
Oh, that makes
defend.
sense.
Willow would probably leave. Hey, Jade?
Yeah, there's no way in hell that Rose is not fighting her tooth and nail to go south.
And I think the thing with Willow is like, she's brave and she's a badass, but she is human. And she's not got that sort of like divine.
The hero spark.
Yeah, she is, she's tough, but she's still a person. And so, yeah, she's absolutely terrified. So she is, if she's honest, she's like happy to leave.
they look after people as they go to like Balearn or something. Look
Yeah,
after
yeah.
other
So
people.
you know,
Yeah.
she's still taking like a you know, kind of.
She's not shirking duties.
And yeah,
She's
yeah.
good. She's
You know,
helping.
she and Bazrag are like routing on people and you know helping keep the peace and giving commands and making everyone kind of feel safe. But she's like glad she's got the safe posting away from
Yeah.
the.
And Rose is definitely couching in a see to the safety of our people.
Silpher too would go with the Allfanger. He kind of feels like beholden to just everyone around for kind of helping bring him back, and he knows, you know, he is first and foremost a benevolent character, and he knows that he is essentially a, you know, he has a gift that he's been given that gives him, you know, a big opportunity to help sway, you know, the tide of battle, and so he's willing to use it.
Have the Algar appeared by our side, or are they going to defend the plane in general, or?
Yeah, I have to bring up is the city is gone, but the few who wish to stay are sort of they have shown up. I imagine they kind of show up maybe during the feast or whatever, and it looks to be about 25 to 30 of these giant Goliaths who, kind of speaking with you guys, will also be happy to go with the Allfanger and stand against the army.
Yeah, I think I would have at some point like air stoned Arthas to the keep so he can,
Defo.
like, you know, hear all of this good news.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's there for
yeah.
the feast.
Yeah, that too. But also, like, you know, Elishon would want to make sure that he's hearing that people who are not Ulfanger are, you know, sacrificing their safety to help the Ulfanger and
Yeah.
because she
And
wants
there's
to
like
have that relief. And then also there's going to be like a small little moment where she thanks Arame because in her mind this is part of her help. All of these people suddenly willing to sacrifice themselves for the Ulfanger, where like before, like nobody paid any attention to them.
yeah,
Like,
and you feel that same warmth again, like she's close, but it does feel maybe slightly emboldened. You're not sure if it's the circumstances or, you know, whether there's a tangible effect, but you know, so many people willing to put them for the greater good, knowing about Arame and knowing who she is and kind of invoking her, I suppose, thanks to you. That is having a marked effect, you hope.
yeah. Elishan would be like name dropping that a few times during the feast.
The eager dead are still at Balearn, right? And the refugees will have reached there
Correct.
relatively. Okay. So they're going to have a fight on their hands, and we've got people being sent there. I just wondered if Remy wanted to send them a message or something about the end of the world. Probably afford that.
To Tegwin?
To Tegwin or something like that. About the fight that is coming.
Remy's kind of torn on that.
People, okay.
He kind of doesn't want to worry people, and he'd say as much. Sort of like, you know, if the world's ending, you know,
Let them enjoy their last days of peace, is what I say. They'll figure it out eventually.
And they will. And they will.
Plus, we're gonna win, so don't worry about it.
I don't know how insightful you are, but I don't know how confident Byron looks in then. Or it just looks the same as always.
We will, and I think with a passive insight of
yeah, 16,000 something.
yeah, 11 billion.
Passive insight of half elf.
Yeah, Elishan's just gonna kind of be. We were all brought together for a reason. It didn't really seem like, we had any form or direction like when we first met. But I'm a disgraced bard and a wizard and a halfling fighter and a dwarven cleric, and we came here and we've done all this and kind of like wave around at the keep, and it's like we've made friends with people who have given up on having like friends, and we've done things that no one else on Neath has ever managed to do before, and we'll continue to do great things. I'm sure of it.
You're here.
Raises a glass.
Of the hero's feast.
Yeah.
Magic
Red
wine.
party cup.
She's gonna clink a slice of like ham sandwich.
You know him.
Oh no! What?
Saw salami.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Beer dates only.
Oh,
Nice pastrami.
Oh, dude, killing me.
what about that sauerkraut?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not an Italian sandwich. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, not on the sandwich. I was, just
Oh, on the
separately.
side.
Like
Sure,
Byron's all
yeah.
about that sauerkraut. Byron would just like to say, like, to Vela, you don't owe anyone here anything, and I know if I'd send you to any of these places, they would not see you as I see you. They not know of the deeds that you have accomplished in their stead.
I know, but I don't care about that. She says kind of demurely, like glancing off to one side.
Mm-hmm. Where we go, I would not risk anyone, and I've counseled the others the same, yet they still bring those that they consider dearest and nearest to a literal plane of chaos. We may not all come back.
I want to go because I can help and because she sort of like glances up at you for a moment, because I don't want to have you not come back and not know the answer.
He kind of like looks off to a second, kind of just past her. I can see how that would be heavy. Would weigh you down.
She just nods.
I aim to see that at least most of us make it back from whatever this is, but it is beyond the ken of mortal men on this realm. We gathered here are the combined knowledge of this place, really.
Inshallah.
I cannot guarantee your safety, nor the safety of everyone, but I will try.
I never asked you to. I'm here because I want to be here.
He like leans forward a little bit and holds her hand on the table. You don't have to ask me for me to want that to be true. for me to want all these people here? And he kind of like looks down the table to be safe.
She nods and smiles slightly and kind of gives his hand a squeeze. it you're a good man, Byron, and I know that every single person here feels safer because you're here, me included.
He kind of just there's a thoughtfulness and then a smile, and he kind of like comes to a conclusion and sits back a little bit. I think that's what love is. A consideration, a feeling of safety.
She kind of like bites her lip slightly and nods, and she just says, "I feel very safe with you," in like a really quiet voice, so you're the only one that can hear it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he. I think there is like she might be able to read from him a sense of that same safety. I'm not sure he says anything. I think there's just like a thoughtfulness.
She can like pat your hand slightly, and imagine that's probably the end of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There's one way to ask her.
what is the plan now?
Elishan is going to cast Bari's white magic circle on people. So she's gonna, walk in a circle and lift her hands up to the darkened sun and say, protect me and mine in Elvish, and give everyone that little boost. Well, not everyone, because I can only do 5 other people. So Kreen, Byron, Rose, Remy, and Arthas will get the +1 to AC. And
Not yourself.
It has to be myself, myself
okay.
and 5 others.
I see.
So. Unless one of you want to give up your boost to allow Vela to have.
Remy will give it up for Vela.
Okay, so Vela will have +1 AC there, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's gonna get only 2 temporary HP.
Well, did we roll for the Heroes Feast yet?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
Before you asked.
All right, I'm sorry.
14 to our maximum, thanks to Heroes Feast.
Oh, right, not temporary. Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, so they stack.
Stack.
Okay. All of
Is
the
there
points.
anyone that couldn't benefit from the Heroes Feast that's remaining behind to go visit the Elfhanger?
Yes, Kirionti and Bjorn.
I'm gonna give them.
They've got the feast. There's 12 people in the feast.
Yeah,
So there's more
That's
than
what she
enough.
said.
Yeah, no, who couldn't
Oh.
get the benefits?
No, Silver's.
Yeah, Silver's in.
Him as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, no. Everyone's got everything.
Azrag, Willow, everybody.
Yeah, but they're not going to the Elfhanger.
Yeah, okay. So everyone who's going to the Elfhanger got to benefit. Elishan's going to give her anti-fear amulet. to Willow. Even though she's
Dope.
going to the learn,
Yeah.
she's gonna give it to Willow.
So, you guys ready to go? I got the key. Dusk enter bust.
Oh, the salve. You were able to make it, Byron? The anti-dark.
I had time to concoct fig
Yeah,
based cells.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it does mechanically, but yes. Is it 5 doses?
I think he said 8.
Or is it
Yeah,
eight?
you have enough for 8.
Okay.
Okay, so Elishan's going to take it, and on the back of everyone's neck, she's going to take one thumb and dip it in the salve and mark a saltire shape into the back of their neck, and it bruises appropriately, I assume.
It does.
Why'd you just
Okay.
steal on my neck? What is that?
Jesus.
This will last for 5 to 7 days. When the bruise is gone, it is no longer working. You have resistance to necrotic damage, and it may help against the chaos. And she'll go around and get everybody that's coming with us to Duskent.
Okay. Thank you.
So everyone has resistance to necrotic damage. You should write that down.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Is this it?
So everyone's properly evacuated, like Freckles and things. Can they? We have like the golems and stuff. Are they just going to remain completely still in the keep?
The catapult golem and the dwarves will have to, yeah.
They can't come with us, huh?
No.
No,
They
it's
can't go to the
5
Elfhanger.
large aspects.
The dwarves could go to the Orfanger probably. Although, yeah, I guess there's no reason why the catapult golem could not either. So yeah, I suppose.
So,
Although
give the
it may have trouble going through the woods.
maybe.
I'm sure that Bjorid could reduce it and get it there.
Oh yeah, true.
Or tensor floating discus or something.
So we give the control button to Trionte / Biorid for them to go and we're giving up our home for theirs.
Yeah.
Freckled is well away, presumably with other people, maybe to
Yeah.
Bologna or further. There was the magical ore that he had that we still haven't used for whatever purpose. Anyone else particularly had no keep?
Fork and Glor, the ice pirate, who's like a bouncer for a club in town. He's just gone with everyone else.
Sure. And
Gale and Odd, did they?
Aod and Gale, yeah.
Where'd they go?
They're not staying. They're not staying. Gale's pregnant. So
the blissful mistress people, the Olga.
Yeah. They're all gone.
Yeah.
Keeps his
Did
ghost down.
Quandary, it's like how whenever we first showed up, did Quandary bring any other like potions of, more mundane variety, like just regular healing potions or anything fun like that?
Rob, not.
Probna?
Rob's not.
Okay.
Like, he wasn't specifically asked to, and I know, he is a pragmatic guy, but he is also doing a million things at once.
True.
Didn't
think of it until just now.
Sure. Byron would have a word with Craig about, depending on how long we're gone, everybody will have a great need of logistics, and that is what you specialize in. If you can see people to where they need to be, either safety or the front of whatever decides to.
I will do what needs to be done, he says. I I know I have a certain reputation, but I do feel a loyalty to these people.
Indeed.
I will not
And
abandon them.
whether it be loyalty or self-interest, we're all in this one together.
Those two are never mutually exclusive.
No, no, they are not, and not many people realize that.
Indeed, sir.
He's gonna like shake his hand. See
You
see our people safe, not just of the keep.
he shakes back with a clammy palm.
Mm-hmm.
I will do my best. Which, you know, from experience is pretty fucking good, so. And with that, you are left alone in the keep. The Chaos Army marches on. And you have your key.
Okay, so we going to the heart of Duskend, or are we teleporting to the castle or something, right?
The key takes us to the plane. I believe it does not take us all the way to the keep.
Correct.
It's supposed to take us in a back door that's supposed to make it difficult for her to sense us at first.
All right, well, let me just try something. Take me to the heart of Evelyn's castle. Blah.
Nothing happens.
Ah, shit. All right, Duskend.
We all
Door
have to wait
opens.
around for a few minutes before the door
Yeah.
opens.
The door opens and
Oh, can I just say that I've sent the ship away? It's
okay, yep.
no longer.
Sure.
Yeah, the ship has, I don't know, gone to Virus or something via the control rods. And I've
Arcus Risk
informed-
is like super happy. He's just joyriding it about time.
and
Crash that shit.
I've informed
To
relevant.
get back and it's all gonna be stains. And, yeah. No, I imagine
It's like an
like
episode of fucking like Jackass.
yeah. No, I imagine like it gets there and like someone has the keys and Thrisk is like, ooh, and Connor's like, I'll look after that. And so door opens and you enter the plane of chaos, Dasket. For many of you, this is your first time here. You stand in what appears to be an infinite expanse of blue and black earth, lumpy and featureless, with hills that sway and bob into the darkness. The sky is like an infinite abyss of the storm that rages above your keep, and in every direction all you see is the half-light of the chaos plane. The only feature on the horizon is a great black spire that sticks up like some kind of rotten hand with spiked clawed fingers awaiting you in the distance.
They really need a decorator. But I guess that's where we're going, huh?
Or he points toward the castle or the spire.
Yes. That's where we're going.
Let's go.
As you begin to walk towards the spire, the ground, you feel like you're traveling normally, but as with Elishan, you find that no matter how far you walk, it never gets closer.
Hey, Byron, I feel like my head's getting messed with. Can you just teleport us there since you can see it?
I suppose I can try. And there are less than 8 of us. Everyone gathers up or something, and Byron has the helmet on, and he'll
Alishon's gonna close her eyes and think really, 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 really hard about being there at the castle.
Nice.
Is that something we should be doing? Does she inform us of this?
Okay, yes, because she'll say, like, as Byron's getting ready to prepare the spell, she'll say that I'm assuming that Rose told us what Lathander told her, and so, like, if she says if this is a matter of will, we need to will ourselves there. In addition to just traveling, we have to be stronger than the force that Evelyn puts on this place. And so,
No problem.
yeah, she's gonna like grab Arthas's hand and close her eyes and think really, really hard about being at the castle.
Very well.
And then Byron, unless we magically transport before he uses the teleport, he will teleport us.
You do not.
Okay. What
Okay.
goes?
The DM rolls a D100.
Oh shit.
Okay. Oh. Perfect. Okay. So, let me just have a look.
He had that up way too quickly. He was prepared for you to try this.
Well, yes, but also Fight Club 5 is an amazing app. Okay, so I rolled a 20. And I would like to say that I think viewed once or seen casually are fair because you are not very familiar. And so a 20 is a mishap.
Oh God.
Oh. Yeah.
Which
fine.
means you all take 13 force damage.
Oh, Jesus.
Ow! That's supposed to happen? Are we there?
And you appear in you appear in definitely a different place, but the spire is no closer.
Shit. Byron, this doesn't usually happen to you. Everything okay? You get a moment alone or something?
Byron kind of blinks the pain away. I mean, I'm not usually on a plane of pure chaos, and I did explain to you the dangers of teleportation.
This is probably.
Byron just gets out his blackboard again. Look, I told you.
It was worth a shot, Remy, certainly, but fortunately, it's perhaps difficult. Not
So
necessarily.
you want to try it again, or that's fine. I mean, it happens to a lot of guys, I'm sure. But you want to try it again, or you want to try walking again? I don't know.
Byron turns to Elishan, who was going to say something, or was saying something.
I was just gonna say this is probably to be expected, honestly.
Try again.
I mean, technically, you are supposed to keep rolling to see how good where we end up the second time. So multiple mishaps can occur on the one casting.
Why are you helping?
Because I'm. No.
No, I rolled it.
I think maybe we should avoid doing anything too flashy in case she notices.
Do it again.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting anywhere staying here.
No,
Uh,
I kind of feel like this. I don't know. What if this is kind of like the Wilderlorn, and things are just going to be funny here no matter what? Maybe we. What if I
shivers.
close my eyes and you guys hold on to my hand and we'll see if we get closer, and I'll try and get us there.
You think it'll help?
I mean, it's worth a try, right? It's
Sure.
better than all of us walking blind.
Okay. So what? Hold your hand and close my eyes, or keep my eyes open, or
You keep your eyes open. Let me know if it's working.
okay.
And Elishon's going to have everyone hold hands and walk towards the castle. And the entire time she's like just thinking about how we have to get to the castle so that we can save everyone back home.
After a good long time of this, Alsham feels pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't think this
Allison,
is working.
we're getting closer. Oh my God, you're incredible. No, forget it. It's not working.
I mean, it was worth a shot. She kind of seems a little disappointed.
It was a good try. Arthur says, like, squeezing her shoulder and giving Remy, like, a grin. Like, yeah, you're right. That was dumb.
What if we walk backwards?
Byron like nods along.
I mean, it might. I mean, we can't get any further away, right?
Smash cut 5 minutes later. The keep is even smaller.
You just find the end of Dasgant. Yeah, I guess the world really is flat.
Oh no, Evelyn's a flat earther.
Damn it.
This whole
I don't
game
know.
has
There was
been
a
leading
guy
up
sent that
to,
balloon up.
I mean,
to
we
me
can also.
pushing flat Earth theory on you.
Oh my god.
Are we going to attempt to try and walk away from the thing and see if we get any further?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. You walk further away.
Remy stays where he is.
Remy stays where he is. And then you turn around eventually, and Remy's a lot smaller. And the spire is the same.
So what happens as we start walking towards Remy?
Remy gets bigger, and then you're at Remy, and the spire stays the same.
I could. She kind of like hesitates for a moment. I could try trucing.
Yeah, sure.
It's a big spell. If it doesn't work, I'm limit my options later. Should I try?
Maybe we should make sure we've exhausted all of our options here first. Not that I have really.
I
any
say
more-
try teleporting again. I think you could do it, Byron.
I'm just gonna punch him in the thigh.
I believe in you, buddy, and your magic hat.
Let me just try one thing, a postulate that I've been working on.
Yes, a postulate.
Byron is going to like look to the others and then look away, and he is, for the man of the most ordered mind possible, he's going to attempt to approximate a random chaotic path, just walking anywhere he feels like or in any direction,
All right.
without the general intention of getting closer to the keep, and see if he ends up closer to the keep.
So this happens for quite a while. And you don't appear to get closer, and everyone is sort of watching you. And you hear a voice kind of appear in your ear, just behind you, and it goes, "Where are you going?" And it's that same chilling voice that sort of immediately your chest to clench as Evelyn speaks in your ear. You kind of jump and turn around, and she's not there.
We
Just
don't
to
hear
me
anything.
or just to everybody?
Just to Byron.
So I don't know how long he's been doing that. A little bit.
It's very hard to keep track in a place with no sun.
Yeah. So he freezes at one point. And then he like turns slowly, just like his head, back to the others. She knows we're here.
Oh, well, that's good. Evelyn, come fight me, you ugly bitch. No. That didn't work. I got nothing.
Elishon is going to do one of the few things that she knows that always seem to affect chaos, even if it was always a bit chaotic in its transactions, I guess. I don't know what other ways of saying that, but she's going to cast Calm Emotions on the
On
plane.
the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, it's a second level spell, and she's just trying anything.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and mark off a second level spell on your sheet.
It's already done.
Right, and the second thing we're going to do is ask, does anyone else have anything they want to do?
Maybe we try teleporting again.
You know, Rob, you have a way of making me feel respected whenever I'm trying to solve your dumbass puzzle that you've given us no clues for.
Sorry. All right, try again. Are you?
Well, teleportation got us somewhere. I didn't necessarily get us closer. Perhaps it will this time. Magic is random. And oftentimes productive. Shall we try again?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
Remy kind of takes a deep breath and
Go, do it.
This one is different. I rolled an 86. You vanish from sight and reappear in front of the huge spire. It's extremely tall, and there are a couple of towers that kind of, as I said, kind of rise up like fingers. There is a wall around the outside with a huge black wrought iron gate that stands directly in front of you. You feel like an intense kind of nauseating heat coming off this whole tower, and it makes you feel just this like desperate desire to get away.
So I imagine they like as a ring chain of people, and just sort of all kind of go woozy.
Yeah,
Effect.
it's immediate.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah. More's the pity. Can you find the door?
Byron, you've mage armored, haven't you?
There is like a crystalline effect around him.
Of course, I did it hours ago.
just wanted you'd forgotten at the trial, so just wanted to make
I
sure.
didn't know we were.
Ooh,
I
hold
didn't
on.
know society's so obsessed with playing a. Traveling would be, equally obsessed with combat as a proof of their worth.
Hey, everybody likes violence. It's universal.
I really don't think this is the time to be discussing this.
No, but he totally needs to.
He's got it.
Remy's looking for the door.
Before we go in, though, can we check? We've been here for a long time. Has the key recharged? Can Remy check that without
Yeah.
pulling it out and making it obvious?
The key seems charged.
Dope. Just questioning.
We're in front of the gate, though, not behind the
Yeah.
gate, right?
No, you're looking at the gate from the outside.
And then there is a door beyond, in a tower beyond.
There's
Yeah.
a tower beyond. Or there are 3, but there is one big one.
How tall is the gate?
The gate is about 15, 20 feet tall.
And the heat is coming off of the metal, right?
It's coming off of just the entire tower.
Off the entire tower.
Yeah, as far as you can tell.
Does the gate seem hot to touch without touching? Does it seem
Not
painful to
especially.
touch? Okay.
So are we gonna try to open this thing, or are we gonna climb it?
Can we just jump over it? Everybody got like a magic fly thing?
I could cast it once. Arthas could teleport into a giant bird and move us all over, but that'd be wasting one of his
Many.
things. Mm.
I mean-
How tall is the gate? Like
15, 20 feet.
15, 20 feet. Okay. And the bars are too narrow for us to just move through.
Yeah.
Has nobody tried a detect magic spell or anything yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna start working on that.
It's a great way to burn out your retinas.
Well, you should be able to see if there's abjuration magic on the wall, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I could just try dispelling it, but I feel like I don't think I can roll like level 9,000 on a d20. Because I'm
Well,
assuming
you always succeed with a 20.
not on a skill check.
I mean, do you?
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
usually how I play it.
Oh,
That's your 1 in a million shot of success.
If the DC's 40, I can't.
Well,
roll
there
a
are
40.
no 40 DCs, and
Well, there's a 30.
Yeah.
35, I think, is
So-
35.
god level tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't roll that on a dispel magic check.
I mean, maybe it's not in the rules. I always play it that if someone rolls a natural
Yeah.
20, even if it's not like an out and out success, like something happens.
I mean,
I
you
don't,
can
'cause I'm
cast
a
the
bitch.
spell. No comment.
I mean, if it's got an impossible DC, it should be impossible. I mean, I could, but
Well, I would say detect magic
I'm gonna,
first.
okay, yeah, then I'll detect magic as a ritual.
Okay.
So 10 minutes
So-
later of us standing around.
She opens her eyes. Yeah, so I mean, everything is magical, but you don't sense any particular magic on the gate that isn't just like desk end magic. Though
Okay.
there is something obscenely magical inside the tower, and it's like so magical you're seeing it through the
It's like a
stone
light
all over
tower?
The tower. No, it's at the base of the tower.
At the base.
Yeah,
Which tower? You said
the
there's like
center
3?
one.
Center one?
Yeah, it's just a circle. It seems like a sphere that is just like obscenely magical. Like you can't look at it.
Well, so there's no special magic on the gate. Is Vale, are you pretty good with locks and stuff?
She shakes her head.
No. Anybody?
I can try. Tavi taught me a few things.
I mean, see if there's traps. No traps. Let's open the door.
Yeah, I didn't see any magical traps with detect magic. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, it doesn't appear, the gate doesn't appear to have a lock on it.
Okay.
It's just like a simple latch.
Is it a up and down like iron gate, or is it like a door that swings on a hinge?
It's two like opening swinging gates,
Okay.
and they're bound by just like a simple hand latch.
I'm just gonna push the gate open then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You lift the latch, the gates swing open like that squeak, and behind you, as always, you hear Evelyn's voice. I was wondering when I'd see you, she says, and she's got this sort of almost bored tone to her voice.
Only
Though-
Elishan hears?
No, all of you.
Oh, okay.
Though I was not expecting to find you in this way. And you turn to see her, and she's kind of floating above you, kind of sinking lower and lower so that she's more in line with you. As a reminder, she is like deathly pale and would be quite beautiful if she wasn't so hideously scarred, and it's almost like her face has been purposefully disfigured to be as hideous as possible.
Is she within striking range?
Not yet. She's a good distance away from you.
Remy's holding an action in case she gets close.
Cool, yeah. She has long black hair that reaches down to her waist that just sort of moves on its own. And she wears these kind of formless blue and black robes made of smoke. And she kind of sinks lower and lower and lower. Behind her, there's this like snapping, popping noise. And from the ground itself, you see this kind of strange form begin to grow. And it's about 20 feet tall at full height, made of this horrible smelling rotten wood, with this kind of black and blue kind of flaming smoking glow in its chest. The final Chaos Lord arises. His face is this like carved wooden death mask, and he carries a huge black scythe. And Evelyn moves a bit closer, though she's still kind of a fair distance above you. And she says, I have enjoyed toying with you, but it is time for all of this to end. I am going to destroy you now, and I am going to assimilate your world, and then every world, until I am everything. Everything is me. And then I'll be complete. And you see that sort of like nice kind of facade that she tries to put on kind of fading. But you, and she looks at Elishan, I'm going to keep you alive just so you can watch. And I think that's where we're going to finish.
Woo.